take number 3.
Yeah, I think we're kind of rusty on the vlogging, on the talking
Man,
head
but
videos.
I know I'm rusty. I don't know why you're rusty. I haven't been in one of these in a while.
All right, welcome back everyone, and thank you for subscribing and following and all the generous comments and all that kind of stuff. But today's vlog is the end. It is the end of us filming with an iPhone. For y'all who do not know, unless you're a professional videographer or cinematographer or anything like that, damn it, the train!
We thought we waited to the end.
And the train came back anyway. Should we keep going? Or
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Okay, so where was I? Oh.
This is an end in the era for Care to Life shooting on the iPhone. By
Yes.
the way, there's 2 fun facts. In about a month, it's gonna be 3 years of our vlogging career.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
3 years, you guys. We started
Jeez.
right in the beginning of July of 2018.
Wow.
That's one fun fact. The
Yes.
second fun fact is majority of our vlogs are shot on iPhone. Anywhere between 90 and 98% of the vlogs that we
Yes.
shot were done on the iPhone strictly.
So the iPhones and the gear that we have used in the 3 years that we have been vlogging, we started off with the iPhone XR, I believe, which was similar to probably one of these right here. I'm not sure.
Yes, and I believe our first vlog was filmed on iPhone with the Filmic Pro app on the phone.
Which went horrible, by the way. Well, not really horrible. We didn't know
It
what we were
wasn't
doing.
horrible. We didn't know what we were doing, and the app was a little too strong, I think, for our phones because it was
Yeah.
overheating and killing my phone in the middle of the shooting.
Yeah.
So that was one thing.
So we went from that, we went to the Panasonic Luminex G8, which we loved, but it doesn't have image stability, and it was very bulky carrying around all these different lenses and batteries and chargers and all this kind of stuff.
Transferring files was complicated,
God.
and then also because we were newbies, we would shoot on 4 different things, and then we
We didn't
have
have
to
a-
combine all of that.
Exactly. We didn't have a real proper workflow back then. We didn't
Yes.
even know about that word, I think. At the
No,
time.
we were newbies. We were learning as we were going and figuring things out, and yeah, we struggled with a lot of things, but we experimented with a lot of things as well.
A lot of things.
So,
And then after we moved on from the Luminex G8, we went to iPhone 11 or iPhone 10, one of those iPhones.
Yeah.
And then we got to the iPhone 11 Pro, and that was the bee's knees. I absolutely loved filming with the iPhone 11 Pro. And then we went to the iPhone 12 Pro Maxes, both of us. So another thing that we were doing when we were experimenting with the iPhone was we were experimenting with different lenses, and we went with a lot of moment lenses, and the moment lenses were good with the earlier iPhones, but what we noticed in our own experience is that as the iPhones got better, the moment lenses became more and more just kind of redundant, if not unnecessary.
I feel like they just added more work, but the quality wasn't that much higher versus just shooting with these newer iPhones with all their fancy cameras.
So the pros and cons of what we learned. I guess we'll start off with iPhones because that is the first thing that we start off with in our notes, because you gotta write notes if you're gonna be a vlogger and stay on track, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the pros of using an iPhone. The iPhone is consistent. It's lightweight. It's very simple to use, especially if you get a modern iPhone. The stabilization is very, very good. It's always with you. File storage is a breeze, especially if you're using iCloud or you have like a terabyte or 2 terabytes of space. And it's very, very easy to transfer your files from your phone to your whatever device you happen to be working on, as long as that device is an Apple device.
Yeah, that definitely makes life easier. And then the battery life is just amazing because
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about your phone dying randomly after 15 minutes of shooting.
Yes. So those are things that we loved, and the pros that we found about shooting with phones, which made us go from a camera back to a phone after experimenting with such an awesome camera as the Luminex G8.
And I think at that point, the reason why we went to iPhone and stuck with it for quite some time is because iPhone at that point made a massive improvement between the iPhone XR and 11 Pro that we used, and the stabilization, the colors, the camera functions, everything was so good that I'm like, well, why do we need
What's the point of
anything
carrying
else
around
at
this
this
big
point?
camera?
Yeah.
Exactly. And we were traveling a lot back then.
Yes.
So in our opinion, starting with the iPhone, especially if you're an amateur vlogger, is a very, very good idea because you don't have to invest a lot of money and it's so easy. The workflow is so easy on an iPhone. It's almost a no-brainer. But however, there are some cons of using an iPhone to do all of your vlogging. Now, those are what I like to call the 3Ds. And these are the things that the iPhone struggles with the most. And I feel like a lot of people in these iPhone comparison vlogs go out of their way to not really hide it, but they don't really show the truth of what an iPhone is versus like a red camera.
It's like they're
or
not
something
100%
like transparent.
honest,
Yeah,
transparent with certain things.
So the 3Ds, let me get to that real quick. 3Ds that the iPhone suffers with is depth of field, darkness, and dynamic range. And these things kill the way your vlog looks. It's like if you watch like a Peter McKinnon or a Matty or any of those guys, there's so much depth in the colors, in the actual like picture, in the image, and the way that everything is framed. And none of that is really possible to do with phones just yet.
Yes, and then if you can get close to it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna require a lot of
post-editing
to get as close as possible to that look. But it's still affected, and it still requires a lot of work.
A whole lot of work.
Yes.
So a real camera. Why would you want a real camera? Why would you want to move on to a real camera? And why are we doing this video about the end of us shooting with iPhones? The things about a real camera is, number one, even something like this, the old Nikon D600. Yeah, this is a D600? Yeah,
I think so.
D600. That's what it says on the lanyard. D600.
We're gonna go with it.
So even an old camera like this, when I would film some of the talking head videos with this, you would immediately see the depth as far as color and depth of field, and everything would look so three-dimensional between like me and the foreground and the background and like everything that was going on. I was just like, man, like I really think it's time to step up to a proper camera.
Yeah, I think us doing this for 3 years at this point, we outgrew, and Reza is so much into this video quality and everything else, and if we are ready to take a next step, we have to invest, and this is the only thing that would take us to the next level: a proper real camera with all the features that you need and quality that comes with using a proper camera.
But there are some cons to using a proper camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like we said before, I mean, you got to carry so much more gear. The lenses are bigger. Everything is infinitely heavier. Batteries and shutter speeds and like, oh my God. Price tags. It gets so complicated and so expensive so fast. It really makes you beg the question, should you do an upgrade? And I think that kind of depends. It depends on a lot of things. I think it depends on how creative you can be with the iPhone. We feel like we reached our creative plateau with the iPhone.
I feel like you have to start with, where do I want to take this and how far do I want to go? What's the end goal of this vlogging? Is this just for fun, or are you taking it to like, okay, let me learn and expand my horizons and get more professional and take it as a career level? Yes. So that's going to be your first step. And then
so I break it down into like, I guess my thoughts on it are like part-time vloggers versus full-time vloggers, because you can kind of get really lost in the fray when you're watching all these different videos about what kind of gear you use and how you should shoot and how you should tell your stories and all that kind of stuff. And you got to think about it. If you're a part-time vlogger, you have limited resources, you have limited time, you don't have a crew, you don't have the money, you don't have all these things that these full-time vloggers have. And I think that was a bit of some of the naivete that we had coming into this. We didn't realize that some of these people were shooting with crews that were like equivalent, if not this, bigger than like actual film crews.
It's a production crew for
full
sure.
Production. I mean, these guys are using like, $40,000, $50,000 cameras just to do talking head shots like this, whereas we're using $1,000 iPhone
yeah,
right
and they
now.
have dedicated people who are editing their videos. So if you concentrate on creating a content and writing a script type of thing or notes, whatever you want to call it, and go that way, somebody else can pick up the other part, because editing part is a really time consuming and requires a lot of knowledge and technique. And yeah.
And like, all the other things, thinking like, what is it? Color correction, messing around with the audio, making sure that your audio feels as full as possible, drones, gimbals. It's
infinite.
much.
You can go noise reduction, stabilization, additional stabilization. Like there is so much. There's so many transitions you can get into. It gets very complicated really fast if you want to go.
And if you're a part-time vlogger, you have to balance that. Okay, I want to create content. I want to be creative, but I don't have an entire week, every week to create a vlog. So what do? I guess we kind of do what we did, and we used an iPhone, and we got, we did the best that we could with the gear that we've had. But we've reached a point where we're ready to, I guess, move to a new stage in our vlogging.
Yeah, I feel like at this point we have enough knowledge to understand how to play with things, the lighting and depth of field and other things that we did not know before, that now this is just the iPhone resource is just not enough.
Yes. So we're going to be taking this to the next level, coming up in the next vlog. Hopefully you'll see a drastic difference in the look and feel of the channel. Those are our thoughts on, I guess, the adventure that is vlogging and where we started versus where we are and where we are going. So past, present, future. That's kind of cute. Oh, we are KRT Life, KRT Life with the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all that.
I hope this helps you guys, because this definitely 3 years was a lot of struggles, and we had a lot of arguments and about a lot of things. We learned a lot of things. We moved on from things. We came back to things. It's just been a lot. So if you have any questions, or you thinking like, hey, this is only this far, I want to take it, what should I use? Please reach out in comments. We pretty responsive majority of time when we have free time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully this helps, and stay tuned for the next one. I can't wait to see what this new adventure brings, because this was a heavy investment, and I hope it was going to be worth it. So please give us some feedback once you see it.
All right, y'all, we're out. Peace. See you on the next vlog.